So thanks for the thrills. Great seeing this with the audience again. It's how it was meant to be seen. So thank you for all coming tonight.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
Had to do it, sorry.
Any Panty fans here? Any Simon fans?
How you doing? Take it all in. That was actually what I
That was
was saying.
shampoo for a second. Get some shampoo with this.
It's gonna get real weird.
We're gonna bathe each other.
So that was kind of what I wanted to ask you first. Is
The
you
answer
didn't
is
get to you guys didn't get to have this originally. I know it had a little bit of a festival run, but what's it been like getting to experience this in different cities and everything, having this theatrical experience?
Well, now we're just kind of starting it now, but it's amazing. I mean, this is like, we knew that this film would find its audience. We always knew it. It was just a matter of circumstance with the pandemic and every. Your spot. Look at you.
Oh my God, do you mind standing up for a second and showing this off? This is incredible.
Very pro on cosplay. So, yes, more. Thank you. We knew that it would find its audience. It did it organically. It did it from everyone in this room and millions of other people at this point now. Like it's very cool. Very it's just like you don't get second chances in this business at all. And so this film, it could have maybe done nothing, but it's had this huge resurgence now, and we owe it to everyone here. So thank you.
A big reason I think it resonates with a lot of people is the music. It's obviously integral to the film. I know you guys rehearsed for like 2 weeks, on the music and everything. What were some of the influences that each of you were looking to when you were kind of creating the music for the film, especially the Watermelon song?
Me personally, just getting in the same space with her for that. I knew that it was just mad. We did not know what it was going to be, but she did a bunch of journaling as Patricia and brought it. And, that was the one thing I was never concerned about because I'm a big home recorder and I've done since I was, 14. So to the producers, it was always just, well, the vessel that's going to play Patty needs to be here, and then we'll figure it out. And I didn't really have any fear with Kyle. You guys can talk about your own experiences. Well, Kyle had never been in a band, but like. I thought you were going to be good.
And
you just had to enunciate. You can enunciate very well, which we found out.
Yeah. And we did all the music stuff in the first 2 days of rehearsal, and then the rest of rehearsal was just character work.
We didn't even know each other yet.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We landed. Adam, they had got us our flight, and we didn't know, but they got our seats next to each other on the airplane. So we literally met on the way out. Adam picked us up. We went, hit a diner. Sat down and ate. He got a patty melt. And then the next day he was like, all right, we're gonna go record. And I had completely blown my voice out before I even got there, trying to practice the songs in my car, which is a huge mistake. I didn't really know what I was doing. But I grew up listening to punk music, hardcore music, and I grew up in mosh pits and the whole thing. So part of me is, it's always that shit of actors want to be musicians, musicians want to be actors. And I've always had a dream of being up on a stage somewhere. So I was able to live out my,
some wish fulfillment.
Wish fulfillment for real. And we recorded the punk stuff within, what was it 1 day, 2?
2 days.
It was 2 days.
Yeah.
We had to stop. So I blew my voice out again. And then Emily and Adam sat down. I was lucky enough to just be in the room and watch everything happen. And there was this moment when she started. I don't want to tell your story, but there was just a moment of when all of it started happening. I had this aha moment of oh shit, this is Patty. Wow. Okay. And it was really this completely eye-opening moment of oh, this is what we're about to get into, and this is who Patty is, and just that like hour or two we sat in that room was super, super informative. And I'm done making it about me. Go ahead.
And then we started rehearsal.
That's not what happened.
That's the craziest part to me is we wrote the song, we did all the music, we got to know each other, and then we started really digging in, and like that is incredible to me.
It's just sheared away.
It's just the craziest shit.
When I got the role, Adam was like, "Look, we're gonna write a song." I was like, "Okay." So I was doing some like Patty in character Patty poetry, stream of consciousness stuff, and I brought like a notebook to Adam, and we kind of sifted through it, and the watermelon lyrics came from that notebook, and Adam played all the instruments in the recording, and we like worked out the melody together, and basically in like 2 hours,
It wasn't long.
and then the next day we recorded it, and then the day after that we restarted rehearsals. So yeah, wild ride, y'all. Wild
Independent
ride.
filmmaking, you go down and dirty quick.
So what I love most is how abrasive it is, and then it slowly gives way to the sensitivity of both leads. And so how important was that balance for the three of you? Because I think if the two don't meet each other, it doesn't work. But it just meets so well to the point where, you know, by the end, you're kind of like almost wanting to cry at how beautiful it is.
It's a testament to their performances because it's that way in the script, but then these human beings portray these characters, and that's the cool thing. I mean, it's like you take a roll of the die when you cast something, you know. But luckily, Kyle has the abrasiveness, but also the vulnerability, you know. And Emily has the sweetness and also the toughness that she needs by the end. So it's that part really is casting, you know, like, and a testament to their performances. Like, I also too just the people that we made the film with, like there's some here. I see JP, who's right here, our cinematographer. Who's right here. Producer Ross is here. You know, Francesca, our production designer, and also Annie and Hannah, who designed the costumes, which are just, you know, they're just amazing. It was a team of people that really, you know, this is now I've done like 3 films with the same group, but you know, everybody really loves each other. Everybody really loved the project, so that made a huge difference. And it just, you know, JP's been in the music scene and stuff too, so everybody had this reference to punk rock and music and these aesthetics, and just it was just a really good collaboration. So that made it very authentic when we made it.
Well, when it comes to you two, what drew both of you to the characters? Because there's something so relatable about how both of them deal with, you know, the suburban stamping out of, you know, someone's personality. So, you know, what kind of drew you to both of them?
Well, I'll speak for both of us. I think it was really cathartic. I think, well, both of the characters are based on like us, versions of us. And so yeah, it's kind of like a healing the inner child situation, I would say. Like Patty's a version of me that I'm grateful I've kind of outgrown, but also like making the movie, I fell back in love with her again, kind of fell back in love with myself, and like little me was the inspiration for her. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. It was a really vulnerable thing to make because she's based on me, but I'm also like so happy that people are resonating with her and seeing themselves in her, and that is literally life changing.
Just the feedback that we've gotten has been so wonderful, like the last few months. It's been really cool because it was depressing after we got the film, we premiered at Sundance, we did 100 festivals, we won a lot of festivals, but we just didn't get the traction that we needed. Like I said, that you rarely get a second chance. And this film found its real audience, like in a very organic way, without marketing dollars or anything like that. It found it word of mouth, very true to the aesthetic that the film was made. So it's cool when they can do something like that. It's really neat.
Well, I think we have some time for some audience questions. Good to hear why it resonated so much with you guys. So, anyone? Saw a hand right there in the striped shirt. We don't have microphones to give out, so you're gonna have to yell a little bit.
That's fine. I can talk loud. First of all, your movie's fucking tits.
Tastes good.
My question is, in a society where I think, we kind of have to watch what we say, you created such a vulgar film in the best way possible. You said the things that we really should not say in real life. And I know personally, for me, I would be too afraid to do that even in fiction. As I try, but my co-writer holds me back. And so I'm just curious, did you feel any fear in doing that? Did you feel like people might criticize you for that? How did you gain the confidence to do that?
You just can't do it. Like, if it's holding you back, don't do it, I guess. We just went for it. And then, I guess, from my side of it, writing it, just went for it, and I'm a big grindhouse guy. I like those, so I wanted to make some type of a romantic movie that felt grindhouse adjacent, felt like something for the people that I relate to. So that's what I went for with this.
And we've had a lot of folks like at talkbacks like this say that was me on the bus. Like those words were really said to me, and like thank you for keeping it real. So I think if it's real and it's justified in the work and the script and it helps the characters and it moves the story, big question mark,
It could be ugly and also sweet too.
But I think if you don't paint Patty's world as ugly, where do you go from there? You have to show how difficult her life is. You have to show how shitty people are to her. You have to show that people can and are still mean. People put their head in the sand and pretend that people don't still speak like this to each other or act this way, but it's still really there. And if Patty's life is simple and she's coasting, where do you go? So I think, I think there is, even though it is a heightened version of it, I still think there is an authentic version of it within what we're doing. And I think, sticking to those guns and making those choices, I think, are important for the world that we've built.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Down here in the front.
Don't do that. Well, I will tell you this, it took many, many years for this project, so sometimes things aren't like super immediate. Simon was a sketch from something else that I had done previous called Skeggs, and he was a character in that, and I combined it with another story that I had about the Schalk family. So sometimes I would say all in, before this was like an actual script, there were 10 years of sketches and different things that I ended up combining together. So living life, having life experiences, and just, doing your due diligence to putting stuff on the page will get you there eventually. But it may not be, sometimes things are 5 or 6 weeks and it just comes out really easy, but sometimes it's accumulative over many, many years. So I've had several projects that are long-term development. Yeah.
Let's see.
There's another Simon jacket right there.
Right here on the side, I'm sure.
Yes. Hi. Thank you so much. This has been so exciting as a fan of this movie. I'm one of the many, many people that found this movie through TikTok.
Thank you.
Very exciting. It's been so exciting to see it go from seeing a few videos on my For You page to then getting the word out there and now seeing all of these sold out screenings across the globe.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yes, very, very exciting to be a part of that. My question you that kind of just built this beautiful kind of relationship on screen?
That's such a good question. I mean, I think we just, like, the three of us genuinely love each other very deeply, and, like, from the start of rehearsal knew that we were all gonna go and do what it took to make this thing and get weird and be vulnerable together.
I got busy, and you guys like had a lot of time to spend with each other.
Oh yeah,
How'd you
like
feel?
one time on our day off, Kyle was like, called me and was like, Skeggs, I found this dog, and we like rescued this like pit bull together. We got to do a lot of
Took it from my neighbor.
well, needed a new home. Anyway, we did a lot of fun stuff together is what I'm trying to say.
Before he shot the big scene where he sings.
Yeah, that was a
like
night shoot.
Mentally
and I was a night
exhausted.
shoot. This guy texted me at like 5:30 in the morning. He's like, "You can have the dog." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I had to figure out what to do with the dog for like 12 hours. I had like 12 hours to find this dog.
She had her period.
Oh, she had a period that day. She had fleas.
So we had a lot of fun, you know.
We did a lot
Like,
of things.
You guys
genuinely
did
love each
steaks
other.
together. You guys grilled
We
steaks.
would
we
cook
made
all. We would
steaks
cook
together.
dinner. We would hang out. We just spent a lot of time together. But there was a lot that happened too, just on that shoot.
And I think like we just both like clued in that I saw Kyle, I love Kyle, I love his work, always have loved his work, and just saw what a powerhouse he was, and like I feel like he elevates my work. You know, we're always kind of keeping each other on our toes and just matching each other's freak, I guess. Which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean the movie is like lives at an 11, and I think we kind of had an understanding pretty early on that it was like you can do whatever you want, and it was kind of vice versa. So it was really nice to be able to just live in that world and like trust each other and trust that I had your back and you had mine. If I wanted to try something weird or out there, you would be with me and not let me just fall through the floor. And that was kind of what it was from the jump. And it's really rare you get 2 weeks ever before anything starts. And to have those 2 weeks was huge. We really just got to spend a lot of time with each other and get to know each other.
We went out one night, we went out to eat dinner, and and we were like, we didn't fit in where we went. We went to this like rooftop thing in Detroit, and it was like kind of the business people down like off work doing their thing. And we were very aware that we didn't fit in. But while we were eating, we ordered a bunch of chicken wings, and we were eating the chicken wings, and I do a good job, you know, cleaning my chicken wings. I do a great job. Apparently it wasn't good enough for Kyle, who like reached over onto my plate, pulled mine off, and started eating the ends off. And to prove, I think, it was a very Simon moment. It was like, oh, he's emasculating me in front of everyone. Okay, this guy will eat the bones and the marrow and everything. I'm not part of this prep. I'm going to share that with you tonight.
So I think we have time for a couple more. Right here in the second row.
Hi.
I just wanted to say everybody was a lot of me. And I just wanted to know if you did a
We're working on it.
Hey, Ross, there's a question for you.
Here, Rob.
We're working on it.
Shadow Man comes out. It says we're working on it.
What was the most challenging
Looking over to Ross. Well, I can tell you there was like in the thing with when they beat the shit out of the bullies, the cat fucker thing. That day had like I think it had like 70 setups. Day 3, yeah. They had like 70 setups. So it was like there's a lot of stuff in the first part. Like you can see when Simon's like coming up, it's like all windy and shit. So it was like the weather was weird.
It went from 45 degrees to like 85 degrees.
It was like really cold, like extremely cold, like when you were supposed to pull your shirt up and everything.
You fell asleep in the dugout, I think.
Kyle sleeps everywhere. He just sleeps. It was. Yeah.
No.
He slept on the tackling dummy. He was very provocative. I think that day was one of the one of the craziest days. Was there something else I'm missing with days that were just
We
nuts?
did film on like a moving bus.
Oh, the bus was awful. No, we're not gonna talk about the bus.
What
Oh,
was that,
Jesus Christ,
JP, what was
JP.
that?
Yes, he's right. The curse. We finally broke the curse on our last thing, but day 6, now tech, the stuff, the beginning of the movie, the opening stuff of the movie. Yes, that was the nightmare day. Thank you, JP. Yeah. It was nothing but problems. We got into the college late. It was the weekend after Labor Day, and so we were late. We got into this college thing late. Francesca, our production designer, we didn't know it, but when we got to the second set, which was the cafeteria thing, she was skinning all of these tables and doing stuff, and it was like a really long wait. The beginning of the movie was actually a lot different. There were a lot of little close-ups and things that were supposed to happen, and we weren't able to get any of those. And then the bus stop was the last thing we shot that day with Hannah Marks and Kyle when they're walking, and the shot that we actually used is the rehearsal take because the light was really good. I rolled on the rehearsal because the light was very fleeting, and that was the only time it stayed like that. So yeah, the day 6 was absolute madness.
So I think we can do one last one. Let's go over here with the glasses over there.
Hi.
Hey.
Just want to say, love the film. I believe, just have to say, fun film. Yeah. Knows me forever. So happy to see you in America. You were a big part of my teenhood, and now, like, Dinner America follows me in my adulthood. Just want to say that personally. And I guess the question I have, I've dissected this film so much. I just want to say, like, how did you choose, like, how limiting or expansive the music would be in the film, especially when it comes to the protagonist? Like, music follows the entire film, it surrounds it, so how did you choose, like, the location?
With regard to the score, like the EDM score?
Both the score and then also, like, the psyop songs, the watermelon songs, like...
Well, I mean, the watermelon song and then also the psyop stuff was kind of baked into the little areas that it was gonna, like there was the stuff that was like she was playing it in her room, like dancing to it, or when Simon was over, and then the shows. I think the biggest, the thing that would have made the movie not work is if we had tried to do some type of punk rock kind of soundtrack or score to it. It would have been really strange. And so the composer, John Swihart, he had an idea to do sort of these big EDM kind of drum machines and stuff, lots of distortion. And I really liked that. And so that became something that it was a nice counter to the kind of punk rock aesthetic of the film. So that's what I can say about that. Did you see my spit?
Well, thank you guys. Let's give them a huge round of applause.